A great Friday afternoon to you. Roger Hill of Weathering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, and 802 Honda. They're all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. The big, broad picture, we can see an area of low pressure that's over the Canadian Maritimes. This is at 500 hectopascal. And you can see the thickness lines here with a colder air off to the north and east with that area of low pressure. We are seeing a little bit of a breakout of some shower activity across some portions of Vermont, mostly southern and eastern areas, and also across the Adirondack Mountains. This is shunting a lot of that warmer, humid air off to the south, and as you're seeing temperatures right there, this is dew point temperatures, and you can see they're basically in the 50s and some even 40s upstream that are going to be advected. And this ridge of higher pressure is going to be landing over us and producing a surface area of higher pressure just about right overhead during the day on Saturday for beautiful conditions. We have basically a weather pattern that'll feature just about every other day. Some precipitation in the forecast, followed by another better day to follow, a good dry project weather day, and then another rainy scenario followed by dry project weather, and so forth and so on, with a rather busy weather pattern. And you can see here also some wildfire smoke at some of these reporting stations out in the Pacific Northwest region. Some of that has come through Canada, and right now that's all being shunted off to the south and east, and that's good news because we have some pristine air in the region right now. Okay, looking at the European incrementals, what we're looking at here is our precipitation that's happening this afternoon on Friday. That's valid about 2 o'clock, and this is 6-hourly precipitation from the time indicated. So this would be 5 o'clock, and of course we dry out basically later on tonight. This ridging of higher pressure will be in control, and that's going to give us a pretty decent day during the day tomorrow, Saturday. Beyond that, we have this shortwave trough like an Alberta Clipper system. A lot of this jet stream energy is being pushed into parts of Canada, and it's over the top of that sort of western ridge with all the heat and wildfires and drought. Well, we're getting all of our moisture coming in from really the North Pacific, kind of rounding a turn across and above that ridge and then diving down. And this is kind of like an Alberta Clipper system that's going to bring us some rainfall. This precipitation works in with a little bit of thunderstorm activity that kind of falls apart on its leading edge. This works in later during the overnight period on Saturday night and into the day on Sunday. And as it leaves, there could be a little bit of regeneration of shower and thunderstorm activity. It's a possibility, not a certainty at this point, as that weather maker begins to push off to the east of us. And then we begin to dry out and set up what could be a pretty decent Monday. This is valid at about 11 o'clock on Monday. And you can see maybe a little bit of sprinkle still there, but the caveat is we could see some isolated showers on Monday, but for the most part dry. Then we get into Monday night and Tuesday, and this next little system begins to work on in, kind of along a frontal boundary, and that's going to sag further off to the south, and this could trigger some scattered showers and afternoon thunderstorms. At that point in time, we're going to be a little bit more humid, as some of this more humidity is kind of worked its way and then back into the region, really starting as early as Sunday, and then lasting into Monday and even into Tuesday. Now, beyond that, looks like we do cool down with this kind of a weather pattern coming in from northwest to southeast. And so by the time we hit Wednesday, we're looking at this being shunted off to the south. This originally about 24 hours, 36 hours ago, looked like it was going to be in our neighborhood. So that could still return. But right now, the way the weather pattern is, with an area of low pressure still rotating around the northern Canadian Maritimes, the Davis Straits, that might be shunting a lot of these precipitation fields and kind of a storm track a little bit further off to the south. Very spring-like, and if anything, it cools down later in the week. This is the next weather system that looks like it arrives for basically Thursday afternoon. Beyond the period, a bona fide area of low pressure will form, a surface low, and then pull away, and so on and so forth. We'll take you out as far as we can go here, and you can kind of see maybe better weather conditions working in along about Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and into the day on Sunday. Looking at the GFS ensemble, we can see precipitation that's falling today on this Friday into Friday evening. That then tapers off. We get dry weather on Saturday, and then this is our Sunday rainfall. and then that tapers off and we get better conditions. It's just about an every other day weather pattern. The total precipitation accumulated we're seeing here roughly over the next several days. We're looking at up to about 1 inch and so on. And Weather Prediction Center brings us basically about half an inch over the next 7 days according to their indications, and about 1 inch up in the Northeast Kingdom, the northern parts of Vermont. Definitely a trend that's drying out, and this is a drier area here, and of course a little bit more stormy across the Great Lakes and into adjacent Canada. Looking at the climate reanalyzer, we can see that the warmest weather is out in the areas of the West Coast, some parts of the Pacific Northwest, and in the interior sections of the Northern Rockies, and then over a wide area of Canada and mainly into eastern and northern Canada. And that has shunted a lot of the cooler weather in our neck of the woods here, and that's going to stay that way for a time until this kind of comes on through, and then we'll get some of the British Columbia and Alberta coolness that'll be working in from the north and west. Looking at the 2-meter temperature pattern, we're pretty cool today, and we warm up a little bit of a cool down, a warm up, cool down, and then steadily cooler as we head into the end of next week for sure. Checking on dew point temperatures, it does look like once we get into Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, we'll probably see the highest dew points roughly in the mid-60s, and then from there it looks like we start to see a little bit of a drop off and then a gradual trend dropping off. Looking at precipitable water, kind of overlay that real quickly. This is the peak amount of rainfall that really arrives on Sunday morning, where we could see some moderate, maybe even locally heavy rainfall for a time on Sunday morning, and then we see that precipitable water metric begin to drop off considerably, and then back more or less kind of near normal standard deviation. And convective available potential energy or instability. A little bit this afternoon, some pretty good puffy cumulus clouds out there already on this Friday early afternoon. Then we dry out, no convection, and then we start to see pretty much a daily diet of this business. Looking at temperature anomalies, at least the MOS, Meteorological Output Statistics mean, these are the 5-day high temperatures. We'll be running about 6 degrees below normal in the eastern parts of New England, and almost near normal roughly in parts of New York, and a little cooler to our east. About 3 days later, I do believe that we cooled down just a little bit, 3 degrees below normal, coming in from the north and west. A quick look at the tropics, really fairly inactive. We do have a 30% chance of a tropical cyclone formation sort of northeast of Florida. That's this part right here. It's being sheared, so it's pretty limited. And then looking at the same situation here over the next 5 days. That's it from here, Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.